Hey guys, George MGI Performance here. Continuation on how to improve your LS cylinder heads cathedral port. This is going to be part 6. Technically I should stop right now because if you watch the first video, I said I wanted to get around 270 CFM and I'm already past that for the build that we're doing. And with minor work, like if you watch the video, I fixed that ridge on the seat into the throat. Then I removed the bump right there, and then I narrowed down the guide a bit and blended everything in the ball area. So very simple stuff that you guys can do it at home. And if you see the initial stock port, this were the numbers. It was going around 240 at 6, 247 at maximum lift, and then we're at part 5 and it's going 268.5 at 5, 273 at 550. Then it tapers out with a peak of 273. And what I'm gonna do is today, I don't think we're gonna gain by working the chamber, to be honest. Actually, this chamber is for a 5.3 also. So yes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open it for a 4-inch bore, since we are gonna install this on a 6-liter. I am not gonna do a full porting on the chamber and blend everything and make everything shiny. Like I said, minimal work for the maximum gains. It doesn't have to look pretty to work. That's what people don't understand. Look at this port right here. And nothing pretty about it. It's stock, with the exception of the bump removed, narrowed down the guide a bit, blend the short a bit. That's it. And the head is already going 270 plus, right? So I'm just gonna do a little bit more work. Just unstrout the intake valve, matching it to a 4-inch bore, and then we're gonna put the head on the bench again and try to see what it does. And maybe for part 7, you see how there's an abrupt, like right here. Maybe just blend just this part into the roof. It goes here, then it's like, it's abrupt a bit. Just blend that and see what happens. So we're gonna do the part 6. Let's try to see what we can get out of the chamber work. And then we'll make another video just doing a little bit blending over here, minor. All right, guys, I'll put off the head, do some grinding, and then I'll show you guys the results afterwards. I might even show you the steps, what I'm doing exactly, okay? All right, guys, so I pulled the head off the bench, took a 6-0 head gasket, you match the dowel pins here, and you take, I like to use just a pen and scrape it all around. So now if I remove the gasket, you see how much I could go open it, which I'm not going to open the whole thing because I'm just going to make the chamber bigger. I just want to unstrout the valve, so you want maybe to work this area here, okay? The exhaust will do it after because there's going to be another episode on the exhaust. I'm just going to blend this part, and I'm just going to round off the section of the spark plug here, and then we'll put it back on the bench. All right, guys. So pretty much I opened it up over here to match with the gasket. Okay. I rounded off the bump here on the spark plug, and I just sand rolled it quick. Not that I did any work here, just cleaned it up a little bit. Now we're gonna put it back on the bench and see what only this change, what difference did it make. All right, let me clean it up, put it on the bench. Okay, guys, continuing here, I showed you in the video the minor work that I did to unstrout the intake valve, and around the spark plug boss, I rounded off, and the gains were pretty good, very good actually, very good gains. If we compare the last test, which were already up by a lot from the beginning, with minor work, I'm repeating, minor work. For the ones that are just watching this, I've already gotten this cylinder heads to flow 310 CFM many years ago with a stock valve, and I've got the 317 cylinder head with a 205 valve to flow 325, 330 CFM. Okay, so this is not an all-out max porting job. This is me showing you little things you could do to your cylinder head that can improve it substantially. So we're at part six, and watch the gains. 68.5 from the last time we touched the head. We're up 71.5, 147.5. We gained almost 5 CFM at 3. Not the cylinder head, it's really good. Like these numbers here, they're amazing. Look at the port, has not been touched, has not been shined up, hasn't been polished. The favorite word of the internet, polish. And I like even some guys that port cylinder heads and they do videos and they're like, oh, you know what, I could have done a better finish. It doesn't change anything. You can make it look like a mirror, you'll probably lose horsepower. You know what I mean? It does not make a difference. Look at the port. Okay, rough. I didn't even bother. I could do it so much smoother with my grinder. It would look like better than a CNC machine if I really wanted to. That's how good my hand is. I can make a port look like, it will make a CNC machine look bad if I really want to do cosmetic work. That's not what makes power. You know what I mean? Look, 6 steps of 2 minutes of work each. Look at the numbers. Okay? The head goes 281 at peak. It goes 270.5 at 5. So if we go back and we compare to the first one, this is the original port before we touched it. We're up by 5. We're up by 10. We're up by 14. We're up by 15. 500. Look at this gain at 500. 343 CFM. No, 33 CFM. 33 and a half CFM at 5. We're up 22 and a half at 6. We're up 23 CFM at 7. We're up 20 CFM, no more than that, 25 CFM at 8. And we're up at 9, let's say, because I never opened up all the way down initially, so we're only going to go to 9. We're up by 30 CFM at 9. 6 minor steps without touching the port. I haven't touched the port. I haven't opened the port. I haven't done nothing to the port. Even the bowl area. If we talk percentages, I don't even think I've opened it 0.5%, to be honest. Okay? So I'm happy with these numbers. Just for the sake of the videos, I might just do one more step. But for I wanted to do to make 550 horsepower with this cylinder head, it would do that and beyond that with these numbers. Even though it drops here, okay, the moment you install the intake manifold, all this changes. If you start intake manifold on, you'll start dropping 50 to 100 lift higher, because it creates, let's say if I had an entry that will go out another 3-4 inches, it will go backwards probably at 7-8 instead of 556. So with the intake manifold on, it won't back out like this. Okay, now somebody's gonna say, how do you know? Test it. I've done it already. I've done it with small block Fords. I've done it with it just helps, and it still does this issue, but it'll go higher on the lift. So George MGR Performance, that was a little chamber work. I think I'm gonna pull the head out and I'm gonna put part 7, and it will probably be the last one, because like I said previously, I wanted to show you guys some minor work that you can do at home to improve by 30-40 horsepower. This cylinder head will make 30-40 horsepower more than a stock one on the proper application. I mean, if you put it on a 5.3 with a 218 duration cam, you probably won't see a difference, maybe 10 horsepower, you know what I mean? But if you put this on 11-to-1 compression, 10.5-to-1 compression, 600 lift cam, a decent amount of duration, proper intake, and all that, this cylinder head will make 25, 30 horsepower probably in a 6-liter, and maybe it can make up to 40 plus horsepower, 50 on a stroker. So for the amount of work, it's amazing. Follow the channel, guys. Hit a like, subscribe. Every step, for the ones that want to know, have I even lost 1 CFM at every step that I've done? This is what experience is about. So when somebody talks to you about things and they give their opinion, pay attention, not to words, pay attention to actions. You know what I mean? I just showed you guys 6 different steps. Not one time at any increment of a lift have I even lost 1 CFM. Same bench, same port. The machine is dead cold because it's freezing here in Canada. It's cold. I come in, I just plug it, and I test my head. When the motors get warmer a bit, it actually picks up flow. And 2.5 CFM leakage. I did my leak down test. So if I didn't have the 2.5 leakage, let's say if I wanted to show numbers, some people don't even check that, right? It would have been like 284 CFM without even touching the port. I'm repeating, I have not touched the port. This is not a max effort porting. This is years of experience that I'm giving you guys out. Where to touch and what to do to improve your cylinder head with minimal work. Okay, follow the channel, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and I think maybe just here, just for the hell of it, you see it's like, because this is for the injector boss, right? But I want to maybe just smooth the transition over here, and I don't think it's gonna do much. Like, see here how it's like a corner. I just want to round this part off, only that. And then we'll put it back on the bench and see what happens. That's going to be our next part number 7. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit a like, subscribe, ring the bell, support the channel. This is real information here. This is not fictional numbers and you should do this, you should do that, but not having the right equipment to even check what they're talking about, or the experience. We started from here. Let's go over. That was the initial test. Okay. Then it was the ridge on the seat. Gains. We brought it to like 255. Then I removed not a guide boss, I removed the rocker boss. Okay, gains everywhere. It went to 261. Then we narrowed the guide and a bowl blend, gains everywhere, 262. Then this, it was blend the short turn and do all the, like, blend everything nicely without opening anything. It went to 273 at 550. But every increment from the beginning to the end, that's when you know you're doing something right. When it's pretty much gaining everywhere, or it's not losing, it's maintaining and gaining some areas. That's when you know you're going the right direction, okay? But then again, when you do all-out porting, sometimes you have to sacrifice a little bit low lift for high lift. If you have a 700-800 lift cam, you really don't care what happens between 100 and 300. Actually, some cases it's better to have a little bit less flow at the bottom. You know what I mean? If you have a big cam and racing engine, you know, that's when you go steeper valve jobs and bigger percentages and throats, and it gets complicated. Keep it simple. You can never lose. Forget about shining your ports. You're just wasting your time. Look, we've gained 40 CFM in some areas. And look at the port. If I were to give this to a client like this and tell him put it on, this head will make 550 to 600 horsepower, he'll say this guy is a crook because he doesn't know any better. And if you take a head that somebody touched it in the wrong areas, the head is no good and it's all shined up and it looks nice, oh my God, this guy did an amazing job. That's the problem. Looks is not everything. Thanks for supporting, guys. Keep on watching. Appreciate it.